Uh-oh. We got a slow load on the YouTube sound
Oh,
effect.
no.
Oh.
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go. It's unfortunate, too, because I was going to do a little Rex Bryan tribute here and say, is this thing on? Because it's about to be. But it was not, in fact, on. It was not ready to go.
No, it was not.
All right, Andrea.
Was, though. Yeah.
Andrea's back.
I'm back.
Another week of Gratcast for Andrea. Sound effect ad.
That was the happiness for Andrea's back. Woo,
Yep.
woo, 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 woo.
John is somewhere in the Smoky Mountains. Like, talk about a mystery.
Okay, well, where exactly do the Smoky Mountains cover? Anybody know for sure?
They're in Tennessee.
Okay. He's somewhere in Tennessee, moonshining.
He sent me a message, a mysterious, vague text message that lacked context. And the gist of it was, there's some family stuff going down. It's really weird, man. I don't have time to explain. Oh, by the way, I'm in Tennessee. I'm not sure when I'll be back again. Don't know when I'll be back again.
Wait. How do you not know when you're going to be, like, you got to pay rent at some point?
You don't have to worry about that when you're in the Smoky Mountains dealing with the shit.
Oh, John.
So
miss you.
We wish John well. We hope he'll be back here next week because we finally are locked and loaded with guests. We've got Silver Padilla joining us today.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Silver from Esports Labs.
Yep, the CEO of Esports Labs. And also
from our company.
A Gratwick board member. Yes.
Just making sure. I know some of your future questions. You kind of led me wondering.
But yes, so we're booked solid on guests right through March right now. We've even got a few Buffalo Star Search guests coming up.
That's exciting. We are very much looking forward to that, but we don't want to talk about everyone else because Silver's the one who's going to be coming up, which we will give you guys. Hey everybody, Silver is on saying hello to everybody.
If anyone has to have a pre-Silver chat, you can hit him up in the Twitch chat.
Or you can just wait until he's on and then you can actually ask him directly because we can all see it then. That's the way to do it.
All right, let's knock through our week here, dear, so we can get to Silver.
Well, they saw us last week right before our Valentine's Day. We did Valentine's Day episode. So why don't you tell them how we kicked off our Valentine's Day, dear?
Well, we had a nice little rainy Valentine's Day together, and then Amazon just kept blowing up our phones with these special deals, and we realized by heading out into the rain for, what, 2.5 hours, we could make a few bucks. So Andrea and I spent Valentine's Day delivering other people their Valentine's Day packages. One of the drop-offs was at the proverbial guy getting like 100 roses delivered, or 100 dozen roses delivered, so the whole house is covered in roses. We delivered his Amazon packages to go with those roses.
It was very cute. Very cute. But everyone was incredibly generous, too.
Yep.
They appreciated someone else being out on a rainy holiday. Because I tell you what, a little bit of rain in L.A. can make things shut down. A whole lot of rain in L.A. makes everyone just terrified.
Then we came home and had a nice little quiet Valentine's Day together until Andrea fell asleep on the couch on me.
Okay, we binge-watched The Expanse.
Yeah, we poured through some serious Expanse.
We went through about maybe 8 episodes, and you know they're like almost an hour long, and I was enjoying a very nice bottle of wine.
I don't know that emoji, Silver.
But I like it anyway. Nope, no pillow talk whatsoever. Nope. I just fell asleep. We were cuddling. I thought he was snoring. Apparently, I was the only one sleeping. So, yay on that one. Valentine's Day, not so bad. I can take a hermit kind of Valentine's Day.
Oh, dude, the rain was perfect for a nice shut-in Valentine's.
Well, the one thing is, though, I don't want to go out and have to deal with everything being triple price and also everyone else being out who normally isn't. This is LA. We can do it at any point and pay triple price.
Yeah, we don't go out during amateur hours.
Nope. But
what else did you get into this week, dear?
Let's see, what else did I get
into? Time spent on the 405 this weekend that we'll get into shortly.
We did some driving, and I worked on our brand new media kit for press and any other podcasters, anyone out there who's interested, and about what the company is doing, a little bit about us. So I learned about how to make one of those. actually made one.
She did a great job.
Not too shabby. I don't know. I never know if I'm doing it right. And then I also got to help our friend Jeannie on a video that she's making for a national commercial. So that was fun. Except we did get a little interrupted by the great outdoors up here in the canyons on the edge of the forest. We had a little bit of problems with people weed whacking on the beautiful half day of no rain. And then a child deciding it was time to sing throughout the canyon as if she was practicing for American Idol. A little kid started screaming immediately afterwards, and then the shooting range. It was literally one after the other to the point where Jeannie and I just laughed and decided we'll just do it in the studio. Who needs all the greenery?
No planes?
No planes. Planes we did not have.
Got lucky there.
Oh, incredibly lucky. So that was my main big activities that I can disclose at this moment. The next will be soon.
So what was the big thing you learned from making the media deck that maybe you could share with somebody else that needs to get a media deck made for their brand?
Keeping it simple and concise is kind of important. A lot of people put too much information in there, or they try and sell themselves, which I found out that's a big no-no. It's not supposed to be an advertisement. It's supposed to be facts, so they can learn what they need to, any reporters, and then get back to you and they're interested in more. And also use as many pictures as you have of your own work, of productions, of you working on set, doing anything like that. You don't really want to use any generic pictures or things that are actually copyrighted as someone else's property. So those were a couple important things I learned this week. More you learn.
Good takeaways.
Thank you. And why don't you tell us about what your big week was?
Well, I got to step back out on the football field for the first time in a long time.
How long is a long time?
15 years maybe since I really was on a field with a bunch of people that were throwing the ball around. Probably at least that long, yeah. And the crazy part is I'm leaving. So Michael, the guy that helped us out when we did the American Warrior Festival and was the man behind the camera as Andrea was going around, Michael invited me to come up to their semi-pro 7-on-7 tournament that they're going to have on a monthly basis to start raising funds for the new season. And he's doing some media stuff for them, doing some videography, and asked me to come check it out, get around the game, and see if I could offer any ideas or help to what they're trying to do.
Not like as a coach, but like the video.
No, but he's like, hey, okay. You can meet the coaches,
just checking,
meet the players, and
hey, give me any plays that we could try.
He didn't give me much more information beyond that and was really vague about it, so I wasn't really sure what to expect from this whole experience and all of that. But I knew that I was going to be around a football practice atmosphere with a lot of footballs flying in the air and all of that.
So your biggest concern was your outfit for the day?
No. It was only a matter of time. Listen, it was only a matter of time before I picked up the ball and threw it around, probably ran a route or two, and
you're running routes now, 15 years out, and I remember the routes.
The unbelievable doubt you immediately had that there was no way I was going to be allowed to anywhere near the footballs or to touch a football during this whole experience was quite offensive, to be honest.
What I told you was the team was there to play, not you. They would be the ones running the routes, not you. So you should dress for standing there, not for running around with your heart racing the whole time. Because it was going to be like 45.
It was cold. It was cold 50, and windy,
but windy the whole time.
It was cold and windy. Mm-hmm. But the point of the matter is, anyone that's been around football practice knows that when the football friends come around to practice and all of that, they always end up running some gag routes, throwing the ball around. Look at this guy trying to throw. But, I was looking forward to that opportunity, and within the first 5 minutes of being there, I had a football in my hand. I do tell. I should have sent a picture, but I didn't. But we
you did not have a cap on your head, though.
I got a
little bit of sunburn. Yeah, you saw 40, the sunburn.
45 and windy, and I get sunburn. It's ridiculous. Cue the footage we've got here. Michael put together this little sizzle reel from our 7-on-7 tournaments, and they're going to be having these every single week. So it's in Antelope Valley, which is up by Palmdale. Come back to me. Are you going to play the video?
You're talking.
I'm leading.
There you go.
I'm leading us into the video here, and There we go. Got everybody running around on the field there, getting some action in. This is up in Palmdale in Antelope Valley. Like I said, there's a semi-pro team.
You said it was cloudy.
I said it was windy. I didn't say anything about clouds. I said 45
So that makes
and windy.
perfect sense that you would get a sunburn if you started the day.
Yeah, but you shouldn't get a sunburn when it's that cold out.
Oh, you're silly.
So the semi-pro team is the Blue Devils of Antelope Valley, and they're actually an 11-on-11 full pads tackle football league. I didn't even realize this, but so they decided to start hosting these monthly tournaments. This is their first one. And for $100, you can come play against the semi-pro team and buy in, and it's a double elimination bracket tournament once a month, and they're going to be having it at up in Antelope Valley. If you got a squad and you want to run, maybe you need a quarterback because there's no QB scrambles and there's no rushing the QB, so you just got to sit there and deliver darts. And let me just tell you, I don't know if you caught it from that little bit of video footage. They were in severe need of some statuesque quarterback play.
Okay, you said something about scrambles and...
There is no scrambling, and there's no rushing the quarterback. So basically, you could be 50-year-old Brett Favre back there just throwing dimes, and they can't even whistle at you.
That sounds like kind of pointless for everyone on the other side.
The Silver, we gotta get a squad together. You want to talk about an Apex Legends squad? Let's get the boys out there and run some. They're like, these guys are ready. Like the semi-pro team, they were one of the first teams to lose their own tournament, but they were practicing and looking for some talent to pick up. Oh, Silver.
You know what, Silver? How about you hop on now? Just hop on over.
Silver,
you just get started talking about this stuff because football is beyond me. I just say keep the ball with one guy and everyone getting a circle around.
This is the league
down
for the
field.
old man quarterback. You can't get chased and you can't get hit. You just got 4 seconds to deliver a dime.
Then I don't see what the difference is between giving the ball to one dude and everyone just circles him and makes a wall and you just walk down.
Well, there's
if you can't hit.
No, the quarterback has to throw the ball. They're stuck behind the line of scrimmage.
He has to?
Yes, he has to. You can't run.
I thought the rule was he can run if he wants to.
No, that's not the rule in the 7-on-7 tournament. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's a statue quarterback's dream league. So that went down Friday. We're going to be doing some more things with the semi-pro league, and I'm looking forward to coming up with some cool different ways to start bringing some interactive content to these guys. And they want to do live streams by the summer when their season starts up again.
Well, speaking of live streams and seasons starting up, the season of us getting guests has begun. Our first one is Silver right now. Next week, quick little shout out, we're going to have Mindy Davey.
Yep. Well, Mindy Davey will be the next guest up on the show.
But right now, here comes Silver Padilla.
The first man to enter the box.
Are you in the box?
There he is.
I'm in the box.
Woo!
How's it going, guys?
Going well. How are you?
It's going. How's everything there?
It's good. We got a nice 7-on-7 league if you're looking to join.
So you were a quarterback too?
I was in high school, so that was quite a while ago. So
these guys,
I keep up, with the throwing arm there, but unfortunately, had 3 surgeries on my left knee already, ACL replacements and stuff like that. So when you were talking about just sitting in the pocket, that kind of sounded good for me.
Yeah. So Silver, for those who don't know, he is the CEO of Esports Labs. He's also a Gratcast Productions board member. But the last time you were on Gratcast, you were the head of Payday. Now it's Esports Labs. Let's start there. How'd everything change and evolve into Esports Labs?
So when we started building Payday, we wanted to build something unique, and it just seemed like, we custom coded the website and everything was going great, but there was still a percentage of the actual website that wasn't all custom coded. So we had to make some changes to it, and we throughout that transition, we noticed that there was something else that was missing. So we had to make a change to the team, but also it was the right time to actually pivot to what I really wanted to start building, and that was more of a network, you know, with more advanced technology, so that we are able to scale, you know, and allow for that scalability to happen organically, without having to worry about, oh, you know, what are we going to do next, you know, as far as the technology, and then be stuck kind of how we were before. So for us, you know, obviously Will Sasinski is still one of our partners. You know, Jay Madrigal is another one of my partners and co-owners and co-founders of Esports Labs. And then we have a CTO as well that has a lot of background in building games and blockchain ICOs, and that's our main infrastructure. Our backbone is, you know, blockchain. So we're going to be creating, you know, so that whole transition, before I keep going, that whole transition just made sense. It was a point in time where it just made sense.
So what is Esports Labs exist to do? What is kind of your bread and butter now with the new iteration of what you guys are working on?
So what we want to do is, it's people will call it a long shot, people will call it very aggressive, but we want to create a network to interconnect the 5 billion gamers together. And, you know, for those people that don't understand the difference between, you know, gamers, your casual gamers, you know, and then esports and competitive gaming, there's 3 different types, right? So one of them is your casual everyday gamer. That's anyone that plays a Candy Crush, for instance, or any other mobile game, or just a for fun game like a Mario and stuff
Cheats
like that.
Cheats at Words with Friends?
Hey, whatever works. That's your casual gamers, right? And then you have your competitive gamers, and that competitive gamers is the people that play online, you know? Is that what Andrea is doing? You know?
Yeah.
That's what...
I'm checking up on Facebook because it doesn't necessarily all show, so I gotta let everyone know I'm trying to see them.
I got it.
Telling him
I
check out
thought
Silver.
like, oh, I gave her a word she was trying to figure out.
No, she constantly has wordswithfriendscheats.com open.
I only play against the computer.
Yeah, and it just puts the letters in. So it's basically the computer playing against itself. No, it doesn't put the letters. You put the letters in, and it tells you the possibilities. Then you have to figure out from where it is, what could actually fit on the board, what will get you... Yeah. Like, you still have to do your own idea, but sometimes you just can't think of any words if you have the weirdest letters. It happens.
Yes. Yeah. So here, I'm gonna come back to that, because that's a good thing I wanted you to bring up, right? So basically the competitive gaming is those guys that play online and they compete against each other. And they compete for prizes, and you know, people compete for money. That's what they do. Yeah. And then you got the esports. For me, esports is the LAN events. It's where you go there physically, you compete against people. You know, so you go from being a casual gamer to a competitive gamer online to then making it to a LAN event. You know, and some games open it up for people that want to buy a team pass. Some others, you have to be get to that pro status so that your team could get invited to leagues and everything. So again, there's a bunch of different tiers in gaming, and we want to make sure that, you know, with our technology, that we're able to interconnect all of them into one. Because just as you said right now, you're competing against friends, right, to see who wins. With the words, you know, every game you play, you're competing against other people. Currently, right now, there's nothing to compensate you for that, right? So it's just the recognition from another friend, or, you know. But what we're building is give those the ability to every single gamer, which we really are competitive because we want the highest score, you know, again. And we're going to, and with our platform and our technology, you're going to be able to play for prices and brand, you know, from brands and products coming in against other people. So really, like I said, there's a whole slew of things that when you start talking about Esports Labs as a whole that comes to it. But, you know, for us, again, it's being able to interconnect all of these guys together to not only products and brands, but also to game developers.
That's actually a perfect tie-in to where I was going. So one of the things that you guys have built is your mobile app that's in kind of the alpha right now, and then you said the iOS is coming very soon behind. That app is going to be one of the cool things that we're going to be using at the event on May 10th for sponsors and allow the guests to kind of compete against each other for different kinds of prizes and stuff. So can you tell us more about the app that you guys have and when that iOS is going to drop?
Yeah, so I'd see that, again, we did a closed alpha just because information on the back end, right? So everything people do right now that participate in our closed alpha, they really didn't see much. They played the game. Obviously, through Super Asteroid, which is one of our own. So for you guys that remember Asteroid, we kind of bought the mobile version of it. There's a little bit of upgrades with like UFOs coming into the screen and stuff like that, but we did it on Android first, just because it was a lot easier to get into Google Play. Now we're going to launch it on iOS here in a few weeks. We're aiming at March. That's what we're aiming to do it. And we're going to do an open versus a closed one. So this way we'll combine both Android and iOS. So we'll open it up to the public, and we want to hear more of what that does. But again, for the time being, people come and participate, and there'll be, we gave a gift card away. So people can start getting used to being able to come in and play for a prize. And that's what we want. We want people to come in, submit high scores, and then be able to win prizes. The app itself does a lot of things, and we don't want to give the full, details of what the app does.
Oh, you got to keep something back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just because of the fact that we don't want to, let the cat out of the bag yet, But again, we do the app will provide a lot of different things that you don't yet see out there, or you see it, but some host tournaments, and then some host the ability to be out there. But we're combining pretty much pieces of everything that we see that works, and then what doesn't work, and we're fixing it and building it in this app. So it's a lot of cool integrations from brands, products, game developers. So it's basically tools, and it's a tournament as a service platform. So, so it's going to be a lot of cool tools and services for game developers to be able to launch their stuff.
Excellent. So I guess that ties me right into another perfect follow-up question. And Andrea, jump in here at any point in time if you've got a couple as well. So what game are you playing right now? If you were to join a tournament, what game would you want to be competing in a tournament with?
Well, I'll tell you that the one game that is big right now is Apex Legends, right? So for me, when the battle royale scene started, and it grew from H1Z1 to then you got PUBG, and don't get me wrong, I still love PUBG, but then Fortnite came out, that kind of breakaway, and PUBG did everything H1Z1 didn't do and the community was asking for. And then here comes Fortnite, and they did everything that H1Z1 didn't do, H1Z1, and that PUBG didn't do that the community was asking for. And then here comes Apex Legends, and now they did a bunch of the stuff that people have been asking Fortnite to do, and they haven't done. So, for me, when PUBG came about, I always thought, like, all right, if Overwatch did a battle royale with their characters that have powers, it's over. That's it. I can't foresee another game taking it over. Yeah. And I know a lot of people at Blizzard Entertainment, and I reached out to them and I was telling them, like, guys, you guys got to create this battle royale mode and stuff like that. And then here comes out of nowhere Apex Legends, and Apex Legends launches a battle royale game that is kind of a cartoonish, like a Fortnite, but yet it has the ability to build your weapons like a PUBG or a Blackout even. I didn't bring up Blackout, but Blackout's awesome too, by the way. But you're able to build your weapons, pick up the same as you would in PUBG and Blackout, and it kind of has characters like, I don't want to say exactly like Overwatch, but it kind of mimics Overwatch because they have special abilities. So when you combine that to all the add-ons that they did that Fortnite didn't add, I think you got a really great game. As you guys have seen, what is it? In 3 days, 10 million downloads. In under a week, 25 million downloads. And it just got an invitation to allow it to launch in China, which Fortnite is not really allowed to or welcome to. So,
didn't it also crash though? I thought it had too many. I thought it crashed. Like, I know everyone, the first weekend it came out, like, everyone played Apex, but didn't the server crash at one point? Because I saw Chris just sitting there.
Well, EA servers are always going to be EA servers. It was just spinning,
like, not even searching for a partner.
That was just Chris. Yeah.
That happens. That does happen a lot. Like, no one else has the problems he has with brand new technology.
About the internet, you know. No, what's funny is that, listen, you guys know when we did when we were doing a tournament, obviously we have our partners with Mutant Football League, right? That we're doing our tournaments at esportshowdown.com, right? Mm-hmm. And when we did those tournaments, we added messaging capabilities to the front of the site. So basically you could go, instead of people having to leave to go to Discord, we added our own internal messaging system there, so everyone could see it, just like if you were on a Discord or here on Twitch where everyone's talking and everything, right? Mm-hmm. So we didn't expect all those people to come in and start messaging. And what happened? It crashed our website. So we understand, when you're in the tech side, you understand perfectly that sometimes you do not expect those massive numbers. I know people from EA, and I've talked to a couple of people, and they did not expect that. They didn't. Even from Respawn Entertainment, they did not expect those numbers. They knew it was going to be big, but not 10 million in 3 days.
Wasn't it hyped like the same amount as like Fortnite though? I thought this was a huge one. Like
I didn't even know it was coming down the pipeline. Did you, Silver?
No, it was just launched.
Maybe
they worked on it secretly, and they just launched the thing.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it did it. I don't even think it needed marketing. As soon as they put it out, let's get it straight. They paid all the top influencers to play the game when they launched it. So, cry me a river, Fortnite. It's one of those where you use all the tools at your disposal to be able to have a proper launch. You guys were talking about, PR, package, and these guys did a marketing package that just beat everyone else, by using the tools that everyone else was using, which is the top influencers. You got Shrouds, Dr. Disrespect, you bring in Ninjas, Summit 1G, you bring in Dr. Lupo, and the list goes on. Mm-hmm. And you pay all these guys to play your game, and guess what happens?
Everybody else is playing.
You bring everyone else. And if you go look at the browsing and you look at the games, Apex is on top most of the time now, So, and it's crazy.
So you're talking about how they made improvements, like each time one of these games came out, there were things that everyone was asking for, and like Fortnite gave some, but then it also gave people ideas for they want more from the game than that, so they, like Apex started taking that into consideration. What impact do you want to have on like esports and gaming? Like, what do you want your legacy to be upon that entire virtual game world?
I want to be able that we gave everyone an opportunity to manage their future, because right now it doesn't matter how much you play if you don't have a good event, okay, or you don't get recognized. So there's no recognitions in this industry, because right now everyone's trying to cutthroat everyone else to make it to the top. So, if you're not a big influencer already, there's really nothing to help you out currently, not unless you get picked up. And for instance, there's a guy named Dizzy that's in Optic, and I think he's still there. I don't even know. But he got all these interviews, and now he has all these people that follow him because he made it to his team. But before then, I've never heard of the kid, and that's one of the things that, I want to make sure that when we leave something that, everyone is a winner, or everyone has these same. We're creating a fair system, and we want to create a network that allows for people to have the same opportunity as everyone else to get to where they want to get. That's pretty much what we're building. And at the same time, and that goes for both players, game developers, because they both have the same, want, right? And that's to get their games to the top or get themselves to the top.
Excellence is what they want. They all want excellence, and to have people recognize what they're doing.
It's something that you and I kind of talk about in private all the time, that our end goals with our two companies, the objectives are very similar within both of our industries, of trying to trim out the fat, the fraud, all of the waste that just bloats all of the expenses and corrupts the opportunities to a select few, and kind of democratize that and free that up for everybody so they all have the same infrastructure and tools to work with, and just level the playing field. That's why when you and I started talking, I clicked right away with the vision and what you guys want to do for esports. And I don't know. As you've gone along, what's the one lesson that you've learned the hard way, and the biggest lesson you've experienced as an entrepreneur and had to learn the hard way?
Man, there's so many, to be honest with you, but I'll tell you the biggest one is trusting too early. I'm a very trusting person, and I put a lot of me into people to help them get to what they want to get and achieve what they want to achieve. And one of the lessons I've learned through not only in my personal life but also in esports, and I want to say especially in esports, is that you put a lot of emphasis of your own time and money and resources, to help someone else. And that's one of the things that I've learned not to do, and pick and choose, I guess, I don't want to say my battles, because I think we all face battles every day that we have to overcome. But I do want to say the proper partners for, I guess, in this case, Esports Labs. In the past endeavors, I've had a lot of successes because I've helped out players that are now in high ranked places, and and big corporations, big organizations, I should say, and they're doing well, and that's proud moments for me. And at the same time, I've met a lot of people that I've helped get to certain places that I backed up, that took that chance, and took that opportunity and made something of it. But then there were those that, were trying to capitalize on the opportunity I was trying to build, and they take the ideas, and with those ideas, they try to run and make their own thing. So then they, it kind of becomes toxic and that sort of thing. So for me, again, is not trusting too early is one of the things I've encountered and learned my lesson on. But being able to talk and learn more, and make a better educated decision on what's best for not only myself, but I have a group of people that the company that I'm building, and there's a group of individuals, not only my business partners, but other people helping us, and I have to make the best decision for them. Just like sitting on your board, I have to make sure that I give you my best and most honest opinion on what I think, depending on the topic, right? That you guys should and should not do. So just because I just have to make sure that you guys are able to trust me, like, again, like I want to trust people.
You bring up a great point, because that's one of the things over the years we've lamented a million different times, is believing in people and giving them opportunities before they're ready for it, and having it always bites you back. But following up on
bitches. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
No, I am.
So following up on all the different avenues that that you take on as a leadership role and an advisor role, how do you, because you're also a father too, and how do you find time to balance the day job that you're still putting full time into, building the esports empire that you have, then the kids, the wife, how do you manage to balance all of that and still get what needs to be done for everything?
Man, you ask a tough question here. So I have three silos that I go by, right? Respect, integrity, and trust, so those are my main things. I always believe it's like almost a tripod. Without one or the other, you can't maintain, stability. So if you lose someone's respect, you just lost your integrity, therefore you lost their trust, and therefore nothing can happen, right? So that's the way I see it. I've always seen it that way. I was raised that way, by my parents, my grandfather, and that's always been one of the key things that I'm sorry?
So that's why we get along. I feel the same way. Oh,
yeah. So
we got our first actual follower.
The Amish look? Yeah, I know he does look Amish.
We got our first. We got our first animated Twitch follower.
Oh, yes, he likes your beard. Very Amish.
Yeah, I know.
He was actually supposed to have shaved it on Saturday.
We gotta shave it on Gradcast one day.
That was my request for Valentine's Day. I said he could have a few days to get over my request and shave it on Saturday. And at the end of Saturday night, he was like, "I didn't do it."
Hold up. We're diverting here from the tough questions. We
I know.
We need the hard impact. No, we need the hard hitting answers.
No, so one of the things is that I maintain. I do a career while building all this, while trying to have my family. So my day career, I don't, because that's what it is. I don't steal time from them. I utilize my time that I get appropriately. I take care of business, and then in the evenings, or early mornings, I actually, do what I need to do. And that's just the way it goes. Again, integrity for me, and I'm still working for someone, and it pays the bills. And again, I have to continue to have integrity so that they could still, again, so I could continue to earn their respect and their trust, right? So, and then my wife is amazing. I know people are going to say, like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean you have the most wonderful wife? I have the most wonderful wife, but she's my most wonderful wife, right? And everyone a wonderful person. And that's who mine is. She supports me in everything I do. She never questions unless she's making sure that she questions me on something I might do that I might regret, like giving up, for instance. That's one of the things she always challenges me on. And she understands we have a 7 and 4-year-old, and she is the backbone. She takes care of the kids, and again, when I'm not working, I'm with them, on the weekends. I take all Saturday, usually most of Saturday, to spend time with them. The evenings, I have time with my family as well. Dinner time is their time. I put my phone away, everything. And then right after that, bedtime is also story time, and bedtime is for the kids. And then I'm back again at it. And again, and my wife has been very, very understanding. So, and the rest of the time, like I said, in the afternoon, evenings, weekends, is for Esports Labs, and to be able to help as an, so I get about 15 calls a day from different people trying to get into esports, or that are in esports and trying to see how we can work together, or just to pick my brain on something that they're building, working on, because they know me and they know the experience that I have, and I'm able to help them and support with whatever I can for those 5 minutes, and it's honestly, I always hear people, so I'll give you guys, and I'll cut this in 30 seconds, but I work for Michelin, right? So Michelin is it's a great company. Got JD Power and Associates for being one of the best employers of 2018. You know, and they one of the things they do is they allow retirees to go up there and talk about, you know, their years of service, what they've done, and stuff like that. And everyone that I've seen get up there for the last 10 years has always thanked their spouses. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's a female retiree or a male retiree, they're always thanking their spouses. And I thank mine all the time because, again, without that support, I wouldn't be able to do all this, you know, and that's just facts, you know, and anyone that says otherwise, they're probably in a really bad relationship or they're no longer in a relationship, you know, so. Well, but I hope I answered your question there, Chris.
Absolutely, and it's a great example that I kind of look up to. I'm proud as hell to have you on my board member, but honestly and legitimately, you're one of the few real-world role models that I've ever had kind of around my life and all of that's doing and handling their shit correctly. You've got it all. You've got the sustainability, you've got the family, you've got the dream, all kind of working in tandem with each other. And I have all the admiration and respect in the world for how you're able to do that. And I want to know what part of, because we both grew up with the sports background and all of that, and high school sports, all of that, it's still a big part of the life, and the competitiveness is really at the core of the esports. What's the big takeaway that still lasts with you from your playing days and being on the field?
You know, I gotta tell you, hey, what's up, Casey Fuse Coast?
Kyle checking in.
Kyle, Siobhan, M.
Oh, they're still having their PlayStation Xbox debate. All these ladies play Xbox.
No, not all of them. Siobhan doesn't.
Well, then she should have added me on PlayStation by now.
Okay. Well, either way,
she's. They're saying that they have PS2. I mean, that thing.
Oh boy.
I don't even know if it works.
Oh boy.
I mean, does that thing connect to online? I don't know. It's so old. It's like 3 PlayStations ago.
But I bet there are games that are better there. Like sometimes the older games are better. They took away the features later on in newer versions where they're like, we'll slowly reintroduce it. They do that.
You know, I'll give you a crazy story, and I'm gonna go answer your question, Chris. But today I was getting my car washed, all right, and there was arcade machine there, and it had like 10 different games in one. And the dad was playing Pac-Man.
Nice.
And there he is. And I don't know if you, but it changes color every time you move up in Pac-Man. So he died in the red, and then he got the top score. And I looked at it, it was like 170,000 points. I was like, man, this guy did really good. And then the daughter's like, can I get some quarters, Dad, so I could play Donkey Kong? And the dad's like, all right, let me go change it. You know, let me get some quarters for you. And she's like, Dad, how do you play this? Like, I have the joystick, and there's like, I don't know if you guys remember those old school arcades that didn't just have the 2 buttons, but they had like 5 lined up. The next generation arcades. So this one had 5, and you know, because they had King of Fighters and all that stuff too. So she's like, how do I play this thing? And she was having such a hard time, and the dad was like, you play Fortnite with a PC, keyboard and mouse. You can't figure this thing out. Like, you got to jump down, grab the hammer, go up the stairs. And she's like, wait a minute, I can't just jump over that. Like, no, you can't jump over the ledge. That's what the stairs are there for. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, things have changed, definitely. So, but yeah, going back to why, you know, Andrea said that. So, yeah, old school games are still really cool. And apparently they're really hard for the generation now. So, but see, here's the thing. I played many sports growing up, all right? So I played football. I played soccer. I played soccer since the age of 3, okay? So my dad wanted me to play soccer. He played soccer, and he couldn't finish it because back in those days, you had to work. You know, everything was about work. You know, so you had to help the family work and everything. So, you know, so I had the opportunity to grow up playing soccer in different clubs. And then at age 16, I was actually recruited to go play for a Mexican soccer team. Guadalajara, Mexico, Jalisco, Mexico. So I was recruited. I went there for 6 months to try out, So I kind of left the semester out of high school. I went out, and unfortunately I got hurt. They took my ankle. They didn't rip it or nothing, but it was just so bad that I couldn't stand it. And then, I was one day, I had already made it in, but I was one day from signing my contract. And if I would have signed my contract and then gotten hurt, I would have been fine. But because I got hurt before signing my contract, then it was a done deal.
Yeah.
So that was a great experience for me because I got to play there. And then at age 27, I actually did it again with the actual when Chivas USA came aboard. Here, and then you had the Galaxy or the Galaxy team here squad as well, and they did an open tryouts. So I tried out as goalie this time. I was a striker back in the days, but after getting hurt, I just said, you know what, I'll go for goalie. And the best experience was that my parents, my family, my friends, my childhood friends were all there the whole day since 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. that I left. And the only reason I got cut was because I was 1 year or two old. But other than that, I would have made it to be professional. Again, for the second time in my lifetime, I would have been able to become a pro player. So, but those are the big things because I didn't
get that confidence. You were able to prove it to yourself, though, that you could do it, right?
Absolutely. And that was the main thing for me was like, all right, at 16, I had an accident. Someone took off my ankle. But then here I am like 11 years later, and I had the opportunity to make it again. And the only thing that kept me from it was my age, not my ability to do it, but my age. So I felt really good about that I didn't give up and I continued doing it. So, for that those are the best memories on the field that I could tell you that I brought home with me and I still carry with me.
That's
nice.
Awesome. That's very cool.
All right,
it's scary
Silver.
that you got hurt though. Like, how long did it take to get it fixed the first time? Like when you said it was your ankle or your knee? Because you said your knee was...
No, it was my ankle at 16. And that took about 6 months to get better. So it took about 6 months to get better and for me to be able to completely run on it and everything. It was pretty bad, yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Silver. As our first official guest in the box, you're going to get kind of ambushed here with our ending bit that we're going to do from now on. But I hope you'll play along with us. So the final question is, do you know what the first thing you ever posted on Facebook is?
Yes. Are you guys going to go look?
Oh, we already
You
got
don't
it.
get to look. Oh, I totally see the screens changing.
We've already got it. Do you know what it is?
Oh.
I think I froze there for a second. That's what happened.
Nope, you're just...
All right, so...
What do you think it was?
It was, well...
How about this? Was it a statement or was it a picture?
I want to say it was a picture, and it was probably a picture of me in a blue shirt with like a headset, kind of posing.
Close.
Let me
Close. It's a couple pictures from your company picnic.
1 second.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. We've got a young Silver from August 18th, 2009.
No, can see that. Yes.
And that was your first post was the picture. But you had a post after that was your actual first status update. And that status update was, go ahead and put that on screen for us, dear. Everything is finally falling into place. Yay. This was August 19th, the day after the company picnic.
So what happened? What was falling into place?
Remember
Are you
what
still
was
in
falling
place?
into place?
What was going on?
Yeah, so this is in 9. So first of all, my wife said yes to marrying me, and that picnic was a stepping stone to what would be my career with Michelin. I started working with Michelin in December, and I even though I was at another company picnic, I had already heard about this job to come in and start working for them. So, and earlier that year, I used to work for Avis Budget Rent-A-Car, and there was a layoff of 1,100 employees. As you guys know, in 2009 was a bad year for a lot of people, a lot of companies, especially because of the recession. And yeah, 1,100 employees, and I was one of the sales managers sales production manager that was let go. So I was let go in February. So we're talking about August. And I couldn't find a job, and I was about a month in that picture with that job, and when I got the call from the next one. So right when I left from there, the next day I got the call that, hey, we have an opportunity for you, and and here I am 10 years later with Michelin, and 10 years later of being with knowing my wife, going on 11, and 8 years married. So
awesome.
And 2 wonderful kids.
So it did fall into place. It all fell into place. You actually predicted the future.
And you picked the perfect time to sign up for Facebook.
I did. I think it was still MySpace back then. So I was like, oh, what the hell is Facebook? Let me try it out. So.
Yep.
You're like, where do I put my song? I want people to go on my page and hear my theme song. Come on.
Hey, let me tell you, I had it down pat, all right? I knew where to go. And when you put a video on there, you had to go and change some stuff on there. And so that it could autoplay. And I already knew exactly where to go put it. So when people went there, they didn't have to press it. It just autoplayed,
Mm-hmm.
So, man, now we're really aging ourselves, guys, here. So.
No, it's experience and expertise.
You're going to open a whole Pandora's box I don't want to get into if we're going to start talking about video on Facebook. So
I know, right?
Silver, I want to thank you so much for your patience. You were supposed to be on last week, but we had to adjust the show time and had to bump you. So our first guest we bumped, unfortunately, but it all worked out.
We made up for it. Woo-hoo!
And thank you so much for joining the show. Is there anything else you want to plug or promote that's coming up? If you haven't already followed Silver on Twitter, this is his handle right there, right above his head.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Yeah. All I want to say is that right now we still have our partners at the MFL. They're hosting a month-long tournament. So go to esportshowdown.com. So they share the S. So it's just one S between esport and showdown.com, and go ahead and join the tournament. And also, again, we were talking about our app and our iOS version coming out for our open alpha here in the next few weeks. So go to esportslabs.io, and then just sign up and register, and you'll receive our weekly newsletters there. And then you'll receive. We'll let you know when the alpha is going to come out, so that you're ready to download it and all that good stuff. So, but other than that, no, man, just a shout out to all the Esports Labs guys, and very happy that to be working side by side with those guys, and thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, thanks for popping our cherry, Silver.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. I know. Andrea's like, whoa, what?
She'll get used to it. She might be filling in for a few weeks.
Woo. There you go.
All right, Silver.
All right, guys.
Thanks for joining us and being on the show.
Have a good night, Silver.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, dear. I think that worked out pretty well for our first guest.
That did very well, and it looks like we had some comments in the meantime. We had some people having a little chat. We're talking about some Xbox, some PlayStation. Ooh, we have some Sega.
Well, before we get to the Discord questions,
this is just general conversation.
Well, we skipped over a section because we were eager to bring Silver in to talk sports and all of that. We forgot to tell everybody about our Saturday night, the Gratwick dinner at the Yanni.
Not at the Yanni. At the Yanni. What?
With Yanni.
At Truxton's. Yeah.
Yep. I had to wear the Bills hoodie so they know. They knew who we were.
There you go.
There's that guy with the Bills hoodie on. So we brought Jeannie Jones with us, and we had a nice little Gratwick dinner with Michael and his friend who were in town for a Doctor Who convention.
Apparently it's one of the huge ones that happens on this coast.
Apparently they don't like Whoville jokes.
I don't know why they would. It doesn't have anything to do with Doctor Who. It just sounds the same. Anyway, Chris is still learning about Doctor Who. John got me started on it, so that made a nice little bit of conversation that I started talking with Billy while Chris started talking with Michael. So Michael from Yanni, he's the director over at Yanni, got to know a little bit more about our company and got to hear more about what the plan is for our brand launch and for the event coming up in May and how we're going to be able to benefit Yanni and try and bring as much attention, positive support, everything like that to the local area and to their organization, because they do awesome things for kids. And who doesn't do good things for kids? It's for the kids.
And Emily, I know nothing of Doctor Who either. They've tried to get me into it a few times, and I'll be completely honest with you, the fact that they changed the lead actor so consistently tunes me out right off the get-go. Because,
we had a discussion about that.
Because I'm going to end up like Andrea and get emotionally invested into the first guy, and then they're just going to keep ringing him around all the time.
I'm sorry, it can't be like a soap opera. You can't replace an actor but keep the character and just assume the audience is going to be okay with it.
That's what happens
I'm
in
not
Whoville.
okay with that kind of change.
You're
I'm just
no.
not make them a whole new person, but they didn't really.
You're hanging out in Whoville.
Anyway.
So the Yanni event, which for anyone that doesn't know, Yanni stands for Young Audiences of Western New York, which is an organization I have adopted and taken close to heart because as somebody who I feel slipped through the creative cracks of Western New York, I wish the industry had been exposed to me at a much earlier age. So I'm determined to expose as many young kids coming up in Western New York to the industry as possible and hopefully find a bunch of the next generation of allies and artists to work with at the same time. But this 405 traffic jam that we're sitting on right now.
Like I said, we went to Truxton's.
Traffic's
Truxton's
so bad we
is
could do the show on the 405.
down by LAX in Santa Monica. And we live up in the valley. And so does Jeannie. Oh, that's my movement.
Yep, see, you reached out too far. Our webcam auto lens freaked out.
Whoa. But anyway, so we had to go from the valley all the way down the 101, then to the 405, which hilariously...
Saturday on the 405.
It's not a work day. There is no rush hour. Like. There was no special event. There was nothing happening anywhere. It was like there was an evacuation. Literally, look at that picture. Scooch over. Look at that.
So there's cars everywhere. I don't need to scooch over.
That is tail lights. 4 miles.
Right here. This over here. That says not going anywhere for a while, and they're selling Snickers on the side of the road. That's basically what's going on there.
Yep.
So the Yanni dinner was fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing Michael in a couple weeks when I'm back in Buffalo. We're going to take a tour together of the Wurlitzer building and see what we've got going on there.
Silver knows it. Worst traffic.
Yep. So Silver's very familiar with the 101 and 405. When I first moved out here, I had took people and heeded people's advice that the 405 was such a joke that for the first 7 years, if you even mentioned 405, nope, not going, or no matter where I needed to go, I took a different route. I'll deal with it. I'm not going on a 405. Then I started going on the 405, and I was like, you know what? I was smarter before I knew what I was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dear.
So, anyway, our meeting with Yanni Saturday night.
Still on that?
Yeah. Went very well. Good discussions. A lot of questions were answered. A lot of support. A lot of anything that was theirs worries was all concern alleviated. Yes. So we ended it with everyone on very good terms. They were taking back off to the East Coast the next day. So everyone ended around 11 o'clock, a late night still. And I got to work with Jeannie earlier in the day and help her with her national thing.
We already discussed that. I'm going to use the tie-in that you set me up for a few sentences back. Questions. Yes, questions. It is time for Discord questions. And I actually have the first Discord question, dear. Sam sent me a private message of a Discord question, and it was, what's it going to take to get an airstrike? Sam, this airstrike goes out for you.
Airstrike standing by.
Roger that.
What the fuck?
Airstrike! Oh, okay, your turn. What's the next question?
Was that what she meant by airstrike?
Oh, absolutely.
The sound effect of an airstrike?
Oh, that's one of our favorite sound effects here on Gratcast, dear.
I gotta say, everyone, when we do the show, I'm behind the board and I don't have these, so I can't hear any sound effects. I literally only hear what's going on later on. Oh, and now he's gonna do it to me again.
Did you call another airstrike?
Alright, speaking of airstrikes.
Yes, dear.
Siobhan has brought to our attention that over the weekend, Trump decided he was going to declare a state of emergency to fund his border wall.
Does he need airstrikes?
And California responded with, "It's illegal for you to do that. That is the Congress only, and we will sue you! Sue you!" How do you feel about that development? About the state suing the presidential branch?
I think it was inevitable. I think it's a song and dance they're going to do, and it's going to end up going up either way. I think it's ridiculous, as long as we're going to bring up the wall scenario, that there's just open land in the first place that doesn't have even, like, I don't know, a picket fence, a chain link fence, something that serves as a minor deterrent. Like, at least make somebody slow down and climb a fence. I don't know. That seems ridiculous in my mind. Like, the farmer has the fence to keep the cows in. It's not like my land just ends at Mexico and the cows can wander off. So why is it absurd that we don't even have a chain link fence? Why is everybody so angry about even a chain? Like, you know what? How about a chain link fence? Electrified.
Oh, and now you just add that in. And would you like barbed wire on top, or just, razor blade?
Dude, around here,
glass,
listen,
all on the floor. Like
around here, the auto repair shops have 10-foot high cinder block walls with barbed wire on the top of it. But like Joe Farmer on the Texas border can't have a little bit of security at the end of his property?
No. There's a difference between having the option to and being told you must. That is the difference.
Like I said,
if you wanted it, and you were afraid that your cattle were going to run rampant down to Mexico, I'm sure you would put up a fence. But if you don't have cattle, or if you have 500 acres of land and your cattle are never going to get that far away, you don't need to worry. And that's the thing. It's not, if it's someone's private property, how do you tell them what to do?
Here's the thing, though.
I can understand upkeep of sidewalks, but that's not a public area. There's no public area.
I can claim any bit of land
no, you can buy it. No. You can't just claim it.
Well, that's how this whole thing started.
So let me get started. My $40.
I can claim any bit of land I want. I can just say, you know what? Los Angeles is now Whoville, and that's just how it's going to be. But if I can't enforce that, then nobody else gives a damn that I think that California's Whoville. So my point being is, how do you even say you have immigration laws if you don't even have a freaking fence to start with? Because it's just, it might as well be Whoville. You can't enforce that. I can just walk across and you don't know. So if that's the way we're playing, then as far as I'm concerned, America's Whoville, because we don't even have a fence.
Okay. Let's play this way then. Is there a fence the entire way across Canada?
There should be. Like, how do I know where Canada ends and America stops? Like, if I'm not... So, you've made laws that say, I can't carry this item from here to over there, but you're not going to tell me where here becomes there. How do I know that? The fence, at the very least, is a marker to say, if you go over there with that, you're going to be in trouble over there. But if you stay over here, you're okay. So, it just seems like there should be some kind of literal line in the sand if we're going to have borders. If
it would take a very long time to keeping that line right there, though. Like,
have you seen the Great Wall of China? Like, we've got a lot of time on our hands. Society's been around for a while. It just... How can you say there's immigration laws if I can just go over there and walk in? How do you enforce that? It's Whoville. It is Whoville.
Well, the first thing would be the government would have to actually own the land all along that border. They would have to be willing to buy it back for the value that the people who own it want to sell it at, because they aren't trying to sell it. It isn't up for sale.
I'm going to interject.
And then they can choose to do what they want with their land.
I'm going to interject here for a second. Silver brought up a great point. He said the Great Wall of China was built in fear of war. The fear of war has been used to do a lot of things over the history of time. But how afraid of the war are you if you really got enough time to build the greatest wall that's ever been built in the history of man? Because it seems to me, if I was warring with you, I'm not going to let you build your whole damn wall. I'm going to come before the wall's up. So it's in 100 years, I think these guys are going to get frisky. We should start building now.
Why don't we just dig a trench?
And
just a really deep trench.
Kyle's putting a paragraph in there. I can't even read a whole paragraph here and keep the show going.
We are oppressed. We do need a fence for Canada. There's one, but yeah. There has to be a law where people who break the law then try to go to the other country and bypass the boundary. There should be repercussions.
You want a nationalistic tirade? Don't get me started on the Canadians. They need to be restrained and controlled. They're out of...
Their kindness is overwhelming. It's just too much.
Reporting other people's cars in stolen is not an act of kindness.
Okay.
It's an act of terrorism.
You know what happened was you as a 19-year-old with your 19-year-old buddies flew by someone on the freeway thinking, woo-woo! And they got a little pissed off in their Canadian ways that you were going over 65 on their roads. And so what they did is they called in the person endangering anyone else on the road.
Somebody else's vehicle stolen, and then after I was chased by a helicopter and pulled over by 6 cars and had my stuff strewn about the McDonald's parking lot in the middle of nowhere, I was informed that it is actually legal to do so. Oh, and in 1999-ish, it was also a greater offense to be driving around with a half-open bottle of vodka in the car, not the driver's, than if you had a pound of marijuana in the car in Canada. Just all sorts of backwards.
Okay, so you're saying you had a bad weekend when you weren't even 20 because you wanted to drink while you were under 21.
No. These were 2 different incidents.
Oh, sure. I am sure you didn't hop the border
2 different
and start
instances.
drinking over.
And hold up. These are the same folks that would allow you into the casino where you needed to be 19 and over with Photoshop.
And don't be stealing cars, Chris.
With a photoshopped copy of your birth certificate. My birthday was 1978. I photocopied my birth certificate, cut the 7 out, glued it over the 8, and photocopied the birth certificate again, and showed them a double photocopied birth certificate with a school ID, and into the casino you go. Then 9/11 comes along and ruins it for everybody.
The things you do when you're young and think that you are never going to get in trouble for it. Isn't that just super fun? So anyway, that's how we feel about the wall. And I also agree, though, that tax dollars should not be used towards this because, as I recall, we were told we weren't going to pay for it. And as I also recall, someone else still has businesses running right now that you're not supposed to do. So there's money being made that's not supposed to be being made while he's still the beneficiary of it. Maybe all of that, every single cent, not revenue, but every damn cent, should be used to what he said he would do. And if it doesn't reach up to it, I guess he can only be mad at himself for sucking at business.
Are we getting insanely too political here on
Nope.
Gratcast?
I'm just saying, you make a promise, you pay for it out of your own damn pocket. Don't ask other people. You don't order a bottle of champagne at a group meal and then expect everyone else to frickin' pay for it because you downed it.
Now you know why we got airstrikes. When we got to break up a rant, we call it an airstrike. Break it up. It sounds to me...
Yeah, it sucks when someone's right.
It sounds to me like we're a bit dry on Discord questions tonight.
No, we have one. We have another one.
We've got another one?
Which
Excellent.
we would like to know.
I hope it's controversial.
We need, when you are sick, we need some healing ideas right now. So it's a little different. It's calming me down.
What would you say you do here?
I keep Chris in check.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Ooh, popcorn. You know what sucks though? When popcorn gets stuck in the back of your throat because you're coughing, and it's like that half thing is... Yeah.
Was the Discord question, what sucks about popcorn?
No, man. What's your best method on feeling better when you're sick? I said that, and then you decided to do that weird sound effect thinger.
It wasn't properly phrased.
Yeah.
That's who the next Discord question was. Denial. Denial. It didn't happen. I'm not sick. My nose is running? No, it's not.
That's an interesting way to do it.
Is that not how I deal with it?
I give him Dayquil and NyQuil. He says no, and he tries to fight
I'm not sick.
like a 4-year-old.
Because I'm not sick.
And after about 12 sneezes in a row and a pile...
I have occasional sneeze fits.
Sneeze fits. When it goes for a while, over an hour, it's not a sneeze fit. You are sick.
I'm delicate.
Yeah, couch is covered with Kleenex around.
Hey, did you folks know?
I give him medicine is what I do. Dayquil and NyQuil, and then Russian tea, which is...
You can get allergies.
At any point in your life.
On the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pick those up along the way. Like, hey, I got allergies now. You know how you deal with those too? Denial. Nope, I do not have allergies. I haven't had allergies for 35 years. I don't have them today.
So I like Russian tea when I have a cold or a cough. We're getting back to that. It's got the Lipton iced tea mix, but not the lemon stuff, because you're gonna have Country Time lemonade and Tang, and about 2 tablespoons of ground up cinnamon, and you're gonna put 1 cup of the tea, then 1 cup of each of the lemonade and the Tang, and you mix it together, and then you do one more round of that because you gotta layer it to make sure that you get it right, and then the cinnamon, you shake it all around, and then you put in 2 spoonfuls with really hot water. It's gonna make it all feel so much better. So much better.
Okay.
That's my
moving on.
recommendation for when you feel sick. Ooh, bourbon.
Do we have...
Yeah, Siobhan! The bourbon helps too.
Do we have any more...
scares the germs.
Do we have any more Discord questions?
No. Do you guys have any Discord questions?
Discord questions! Okay. Unfortunately, one of the drawbacks of not having our Jan is we do not have our custom-made Bullet Blitz sound effect that is on his device. So we're going to go with, do you want the boxing bell or do you want the glass shattering, dear?
Boxing bell.
I'm going to use the boxing bell for mine, and you're going to have the glass shattering. Because we all know how much the ladies like to shatter those glass ceilings.
I asked for boxing bell, but whatever.
Yes, but
I said it, and then you asked me, I say, and you go, never mind, I want that.
Because the other way has symbolism.
Dude!
And we got to go with symbolism. So, dear.
Oh, Emily doesn't have a question. She has a promise for us.
Hopefully it's...
Yes, my Emily. What
a promise of an Emily's Corner.
Oh, will we maybe next week start having Emily on the show?
While you're eagerly
Siobhan
waiting in anticipation of that, dear, let's move along with our bullet blitzes.
Alrighty then.
You're up first.
I am up first. So, this week, a first-run copy of the Nintendo Entertainment game sold in a private transaction earlier this month for $100,150. It was Super Mario Brothers. Never opened, sealed, one of those
signed, sealed, and delivered.
Exactly. It was one that was one of the special promo ones, still in the original plastic case and everything.
Okay.
The first game ever to be sold for 6 figures. In about 40 years, what do you think from now, let's say anywhere from 2010 up to present, in 40 years, what do you think people are going to think is worth it if you don't open it? Something brand new.
I don't think there's much of really anything right now that's going to be worth it like that. Number one, I think collectibles in general is kind of a fad the next generations aren't really on board with. Number two, there's so much mass production of everything that the collectible value of things that were once collectible has plummeted. Baseball cards got destroyed in the 90s by flooding the market and lost all of their value. There's not much that comes in the kind of packaging anymore that's not mass produced that you would keep it in the package in that sense.
Emily's gonna be on the show next Monday. Yeah.
So
that's my dance.
I got nothing. I don't really think.
You think nothing. You think no one will care about anything from now, that if they kept it in the box...
I'm sure there's things that they will and all of that. There's still the entire...
Nothing that says this is a whole generation. Like, this is someone's childhood. This is what you automatically go, I remember that feeling.
Nothing nothing that is present day created and not like still Star Wars figures, which I would still attribute to back from generations of that, not like suddenly they're
70s
Star Wars
and 80s,
figures.
yeah.
So nothing that is currently in fruition, and obviously there's still people that have collectibles and all of that, but I'm saying as far as just mainstream that sticks out in my mind, I can't think of anything that really hasn't been hurt by a flooded market.
Well, I mean, Mario Brothers was a flooded market too. It was a huge game.
Silver's got a couple, I believe, Destiny characters that are still in their original box. So, but I mean, like 40 years from now, is anyone going to know what Destiny was?
But 40 years from now, I think someone's going to know what an iPod was. The original iPod, or like a Palm Pilot. I'm talking about something that just says, this was a certain kind of technology, like a record player. Like, it became retro cool to play records again when no one even had CDs anymore.
But that's part of the good and the bad of digital. The good and bad of digital is it can be copied and mass produced, and everybody can have their own versions of it. But the bad part of digital is there's not a limited number of digital versions that therefore innately make it collectible.
I'm not talking about the digital, I'm talking about the physical thing.
But I'm saying most of the cool products that once were collectible type things have gone digital and all of that. You know what I'm surprised there's not is like some sort of like digital collectible cards, like a sweet little hologram of the player that pops up, or the quarterback dropping back to throw a ball. Nice little sit on your countertop and have a hologram of Brett Favre always dropping back to pass over and over again.
That's a limited market there, buddy.
I would love that. So yeah, that when that gets invented, those will be collectibles 40 years from now, and I'm going to have a bunch of those. There you go.
Technically, shouldn't you be able to get one little pad that you just put the program in for whatever hologram you want, instead of having to have multiple ones?
Well, you'd collect the different holograms. Collect them all. Probably get them free to pop at McDonald's in 2046.
They had that before they had iPods. Do you remember that? They had the little cassette thing with a tiny little player that you could...
I'm talking about...
They had that in the 90s. I got those.
No.
Yeah, they had NSYNC and Backstreet Boys on the songs, too.
I want holographic figurines.
Okie dokie. All right. Chris, your turn. You answered my question. Next one. Go, go, go.
The final season of Veep is coming soon. Which character is better, Elaine Bettis or Selena Meyer?
Oh. Selena. I like Selena more. Elaine was a little too wishy-washy. Even when she wasn't wishy-washy, she always changed her mind. Selena at least knows what she's going for. I like that. And I have a feeling Selena knows how to dance, whereas Elaine does not.
I like the nostalgia inside of me wants to lean towards Elaine Bettis, but my insides are just shouting that Selena Meyer is... It's more of a lead character. She's carrying the whole show and all of that now versus a secondary funny character and all of that. So, yeah. But I still am always going to see her as Elaine Bettis.
All right, then.
Okay.
So, speaking of TV shows, so on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the actor Alfonso Ribeiro sued Epic Games because during Fortnite, they had one of their characters do the Carlton. Yeah, and we all know what the Carlton is. We all know the Carlton. You say the Carlton, everyone envisions it right in their mind.
But it's not
unusual to be loved by anyone. Da, 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 da. And so he sued. The U.S. Copyright Department came out with their decision. Unfortunately,
you don't
the dance cannot be registered because It's just a simple routine. A simple routine.
You need some more steps.
So he lost the suit. I want to know, what other dance can you think of from a TV show that is, okay, a TV show or a movie, that if you say the dance, people know what it's from? Not the show, but if you say the dance.
The dance. Oh.
The dance.
Well, I'm going to say mine anyway. The House Party, I believe House Party 2 dance, where Kid and Play, we're just having fun. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Come on. Kid and Play? No? House Party? Silver, don't leave me hanging out here.
Anybody?
You gotta be a House Party fan. Class act. But Denisha, thought you were gonna play with my phone.
Okay, well, I was actually gonna say the Elaine Bennett.
See, Silver knows about House Party.
And she thinks that's actually dancing. Everybody knows that.
Here's a question.
But like movies, there's Dirty Dancing. Their little, like the lift. Is that something that if someone did it on something else, that the people who made Dirty Dancing, or if Patrick Swayze had actually come up with that choreography himself, would he have been able to claim that someone was stealing his own dance moves? Or is it because it was a simple move? And how do you know it's so simple? Huh? Have you ever seen people try and do the Carlton? They can mess that up hard.
I believe just like an NFL catch, you have to complete the catch through the contact with the ground.
Dance party, totally, Emily. Yeah. Emily's going to be on the show. We might be making it a steady spot.
On. Laundry, dishes, driving yourself. You can pick one of each of the three things for those items.
What?
Never again leave up to a robot and do yourself. Mix and match each one with each item of how you can address it. The laundry, the dishes, or driving yourself. Which one would you never again? Which one would you leave up to a robot? And which one would you continue to do yourself?
I would leave a robot to do the dishes. I don't like dishes, they're annoying. I'd like to never do laundry again. And I'll drive myself. I don't trust other people that much. I have been known to be a passenger seat commenter / driver. I hit the imaginary brake. I hold on to the oh shit handle to let someone know, and I definitely do the look around for you when I think it is time for you to stop driving behind the slowest person ever and just go around. I will look for you.
She's also a mob wife,
There's
too.
nobody else coming. Why are we doing this?
If you're driving slow and safe, she wants you to drive fast and reckless. If you're driving fast and reckless, she wants you to drive slow and safe. She's a mob wife. But she is.
I believe we all know there is a very fine line between all of those.
You're looking at the picture of a backseat driver here, except she's never in the backseat.
Ooh, Emily says the robot can do the laundry.
Yep.
If I do dishes, I know they're clean. There you go. And other drivers are idiots.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would have the
other drivers are
robot.
awful.
I would have the robot do the laundry. I would never again do dishes. And if that's all I have, then I would still continue to drive myself. But that would be on the next list to get chopped.
So if you do never again with driving, does that mean you're never going to be in a car again?
No, I mean it's just how handled for you.
Oh, that means you constantly have to trust
Never
other
again.
people.
You never have to think about it ever again.
I like the idea
But
of a helicopter.
But it doesn't
from that point on.
necessarily mean that a robot's driving you around.
So it just could be a really crappy Uber driver.
Could be. Could be a bus pass. Could be any of those things. That's the wild card you take when you dance in my speculative hypotheticals.
There we go. Well, we danced a little bit tonight, everybody. Woo woo! Silver was on. That was wonderful to have Silver on.
Hold up, you got your last...
I did mine.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you did too?
I win.
All right. Okay, I guess we are in show wrap-up.
Oh, for once Andrea's right. Oh.
We're also missing the greatest closing song ever because...
Fuck that shit. I'm out!
Yeah.
Baby.
But before we are out, dear, we have to give the thank yous. We have to...
I was totally doing that. You
I
all
know,
saw
but
that, right?
I didn't know we were in closing motion because I thought you had one more bullet blitz. So, Silver, thank you so much for joining the show, being our guinea pig, first to enter the box. A little shout out to the bandits. B-O-X, B-O-X, the box, the box, the box. If Ernie watches it back, he'll get a kick out of that. Next week, Mindy Davey is going to be on. She's another singer-songwriter. She was nominated by 3 different people for the Buffalo Star Search program. So she's going to be the next to join us in the box, and we're going to find out more about her music. And
it sounds like next week we're also going to have Emily coming on for a special segment.
Emily's Corner.
We saw it in the comments. It's officially on. That's a written contract, and I will hold you to that in the state of California.
And Max's Fight Club is back. So Max's Fight Club happens every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, in the land of Red Dead Redemption 2. We get a bunch of dudes together, take all of our shirts off.
It's not all dudes. Ladies are allowed too, but they have to keep their shirts on. The game does not allow it.
And we brass duke it out. Going forward, we're probably going to start adding some Apex tournaments here soon. Me and Silver got to get our team, our squad down in place. And if you're interested in any 7-on-7 tournaments out in Antelope Valley, I'm your quarterback.
Wow, he just claimed that, didn't he?
Yep. I'm not telling you how about the tournament unless I'm your quarterback.
Well, everyone have a good night. Check out Yanni. Check out Esports Labs on esportshowdown.com, correct?
Yes, they share the S.
They share the S. And we share the love with all of you. We'll be seeing you again next week.
Gratcast out.